A young woman ventured alone to Shanghai, but within just 2 months she had been constantly calling the police, sometimes to complain. Sometimes even on her way to file another complaint. "I have to call the police now. He cursed at me, and before I even had the chance to curse him, he cursed me first." "What exactly did he call you?" "He said I was disgusting." "Isn't that an insult?" "Ah, alright then. And also, when I came here, that man with glasses also insulted me. I need to call the police for that too." Fine. Go ahead and call. What's it to you? Be quiet already." She stayed in hotels, wore designer clothes, enjoyed all kinds of luxuries, yet hardly spent a penny. So what was really going on here? Time: morning of April 10th, 2025. Location: Puto District, Shanghai. That morning, the Zhengguang Road police station received a report about a consumer dispute. After responding, the local officers quickly arrived at the scene, a hotel. The caller was the duty manager, who reported that a female guest refused to pay for her one-night stay and even demanded compensation. She claimed the room was unclean and had caused her a skin allergy, demanding a refund of 450 yuan for the room fee plus over 100 yuan for medicine. "Where is the allergy?" "On my legs, red bumps. Itchy, unbearable." Upon questioning, the young woman, surnamed Wang, let's call her Xiao Wang, had checked in around 5 p.m. on April 9th. Although she insisted the hotel was to blame, the manager suggested she might have had an allergic reaction to her dinner. Facing this, Xiao Wang firmly claimed she had never left the room nor ordered food delivery since checking in. So the allergy must have been caused by the hotel. She even insisted that the hotel had an obligation to accompany her to the hospital for tests. The hotel manager, however, protested. All bed linens are changed after each guest, professionally disinfected, and there had never been any such complaints before. Meanwhile, Xiao Wang could provide no medical evidence and refused to go to the hospital herself. Only focusing on getting a refund, the situation became deadlocked. By regulation, consumer disputes are not under police jurisdiction, yet with both sides locked in a stalemate, the officers had no choice but to mediate. Xiao Wang, however, was insistent, demanding to be taken to the station. The police agreed. After hours of negotiation, the two sides were still at odds. In the end, the police could only issue a failed mediation report and advise them to resolve the matter through legal channels. What seemed like a minor dispute took a sharp turn the next day, when the hotel manager brought to the station Xiao Wang's medical records, which clearly stated allergic dermatitis. But the date of diagnosis was before she had ever checked into the hotel. In other words, she already knew she had this condition but still blamed the hotel. This was no longer consumer rights protection, but had signs of outright fraud. What's more, when checking in, Xiao Wang declared she had no medical history. Yet when staff later cleaned her room, they found her medical report. This only deepened police suspicions. Following up, the officers located the doctor who had examined her. He recalled that during the consultation, Xiao Wang repeatedly insisted her allergy was caused by the hotel and pressured him to write "bed linens with dust mites" as the cause. Acting responsibly, the doctor advised her to undergo a blood test to confirm the allergen before treatment. Unexpectedly, Xiao Wang flat out refused. In the end, the doctor simply wrote "allergic dermatitis" and prescribed topical ointment. The surprising part was that this hotel was not her first target. Since February 2025, Xiao Wang had been drifting around Shanghai without a fixed residence, frequently staying at public bathhouses and mid-range hotels. Almost everywhere, she used the same trick, claiming dirty bed linens caused allergies or that the room smelled bad, then demanding a refund and compensation. At least one hotel had been forced to fully refund her after seeing her allergic dermatitis note. One particular incident at a bathhouse on April 1st revealed her methods clearly. Early that morning, after staying there for 2 days, Xiao Wang refused to pay more than 300 yuan, claiming that during scrubbing, the staff had scratched her skin and she feared scarring. The staff argued she had already enjoyed the full range of services and was just looking for excuses. To avoid bad publicity, the manager waived the scrubbing fee, but Xiao Wang refused and firmly called the police. After police mediation, the bathhouse agreed to only charge 150 yuan for entry and waive everything else. But even then, Xiao Wang refused to pay that amount, loudly proclaiming, "I paid for enjoyment, but now I got nothing but trouble. Why should I pay at all?" Because of this mere 150 yuan, the police had to mediate from 2 a.m. until past 8 a.m., yet Xiao Wang stubbornly refused to compromise. While officers were recording her statement, she even searched on her phone how to deal with law enforcement. In just a few hours, Xiao Wang had repeatedly called hotlines, accusing the police of siding with businesses and claiming she was being set up in a scam. To the police, it was clear Xiao Wang was deliberately exaggerating matters, abusing public resources to pressure businesses into concessions, all to achieve her goal of getting everything for free. Lacking evidence, the police couldn't do much about Xiao Wang until the Puto police in Shanghai stepped in. After reviewing prior investigations and medical records, the officers became convinced that Xiao Wang's behavior was far from a simple case of consumer rights protection. So what exactly was she up to? To get to the bottom of it, police tracked Xiao Wang down once again, this time at another bathhouse where she was living it up. When confronted with the accusations, Xiao Wang seemed taken aback and tried hard to cover her tracks. But the dead crickets found in her bag completely shattered her lies. After checking her purchase history, police discovered that Xiao Wang had bought those very crickets at a flower and bird market a few days earlier. She had been using them to plant in hotel rooms so she could later discover them and demand free stays. Further questioning revealed that every single hotel she had stayed in ended up with dead crickets in the room. When it came to food, Xiao Wang relied almost entirely on takeout but rarely paid for it. She would frequently claim the food was burnt or that there were foreign objects in the packaging, then demand refunds from restaurants and delivery platforms. To avoid bad reviews, most vendors simply refunded her without argument. As for transportation, since arriving in Shanghai 2 months earlier, Xiao Wang had never once taken a bus or subway. She exclusively took taxis and ride-shares, but constantly filed complaints that drivers insulted her or that their cars had strange odors. Using this as a reason to demand refunds. To avoid being blacklisted, she downloaded multiple ride-hailing apps and rotated between them. Even her wardrobe was a scam. Police noticed that although she was always well-dressed, she never carried luggage. Her shopping records revealed the truth. She was exploiting the fashion industry's 7-day no questions asked return policy. She would buy clothes, leave the tags on, wear them for a few days, and then return them. One shop assistant recalled, "She must have bought 3 items and then mailed them back. I remember receiving one package from her, the tag was all crumpled up." Yet she insisted it had never been worn. The schemes didn't stop there. Even beauty salons fell victim. At one nail and lash shop, Xiao Wang had a 299 yuan lash extension service. But afterward claimed her eyes felt uncomfortable and demanded a full refund. The shop offered to remove them for free but insisted the service fee must still be paid. Since it had taken 1.5 hours of labor, Xiao Wang refused, threatened to call in reinforcements, and forced the shop to call the police. In just under 2 months in Shanghai, Xiao Wang had practically lived without spending a cent, yet triggered over a dozen consumer disputes and called the police more than 20 times. Each mediation dragged on anywhere from 1 or 2 hours to more than half a day, severely wasting public resources. With the evidence gathered, crickets, medical records, complaint screenshots, the police determined that Xiao Wang had clearly broken the law. At this point, she finally panicked. "I really know I was wrong. I'll never do this again. I've even found a job now. Okay? I swear I didn't mean it. I mean, I look decent. I'm tall, can't you let me go this time? Please, just take me with you to the office." Xiao Wang's downfall stemmed from her obsession with a so-called refined lifestyle. She came from an ordinary family. After high school, dissatisfied with her university placement, she dropped out and started working at a phone shop in her hometown. Her monthly salary, combined with allowance from her parents, barely reached a couple of thousand yuan. The life was dull and the money insufficient. Later, seeing the explosive popularity of short video platforms, she moved to Hangzhou with a friend's help to try live streaming. On camera, the glamorous lifestyle made her dream of becoming a top influencer, meeting rich friends, and making easy money, but reality hit hard. Although she gained followers, most of the income went to the company. She pocketed very little. Soon, she grew tired of live streaming. During that time, she did date a wealthy boyfriend, living in comfort for a while. But after they broke up, she couldn't adjust back to a normal life. She even failed at running a nail salon her parents invested thousands of yuan in. Afterward, she scraped by on small cash gifts from acquaintances. To stay part of the luxury circle, she partied and dined with friends constantly, young men and women. Some not even 20 yet, all chasing fantasies of quick wealth while losing any drive for real work. According to Xiao Wang, before coming to Shanghai, a friend had offered her a job at a cosmetic surgery clinic. She thought she could save money and get discounted procedures for herself. But broke and unwilling to lose face, she never took the job. Then, during one hotel stay, she happened to find an insect in the room, received a free night plus a discount card, and realized how easy it was to exploit such situations. Thinking it was just small tricks, with no big consequences, she repeatedly requested refunds, refused payments, and lived extravagantly for free. Step by step, she spiraled further down the wrong path, until a police summons finally made her realize her actions had crossed from consumer disputes into criminal offenses. In the end, Xiao Wang was placed under criminal detention for picking quarrels and provoking trouble, a charge that could land her up to 5 years in prison. Although her father rushed to Shanghai and paid back most of the money, it did not erase her criminal liability. Thus, Xiao Wang's so-called luxury survival strategy was laid bare. All those seemingly free pleasures had, in fact, already carried the heaviest possible price tag.